Hello everyone. Now you will hear a fast recap of the movie, Buoyancy. Enjoy watching. Cambodia is a very poor country. 14-year-old Chakra carries heavy bags on his back while his peers return from school. Now the boy needs to sow the field with rice, and not far away, his older brother is swimming in the river. All family members gathered to have lunch. Tired Chakra was the last to sit down at the table. Tomorrow you will go to Sakan. You will spread fertilizers. Let croving go, I said you. The middle son works harder than anyone else. At the same time, the eldest is lounging around and does not worry about anything. Chakra feels like a slave. For his hard work, he gets only a small portion of rice. Why he was born isn't clear. In the morning, Chakra climbed a palm tree and thought he needs to somehow change his life. Just then, one of his friends told him how he earned as much as 8,000 baht a month in Thailand. Chakra and another boy would also like to go to Thailand to earn money. Our hero has no chance at home anyway. His older brother follows us all. Fertilizer again tomorrow, got it. Today Chuck easily agreed because he was planning to run away from home at dawn. Anyway, he tried to persuade his friend to go with him to Thailand, work for a couple of years, and come back. Sorry, I can't, I'm not going. Chakra and the other workers were dropped off at a hill. Each of them had to pay $500 for transportation. But Chakra and another man had no money. These two would be taken to another factory. Moreover, they would work the first month for free. Kier said that he went to earn money for the sake of his children. The boys suggested that they stick together. All the applicants were brought to the meeting place on motorcycles. They had to hang around in the field until late at night until someone came for them again. The carrier ordered the workers to climb into the van and cover themselves with a tarpaulin so that they would not be seen. Chakra was seated separately in the cabin. A few hours later, the car stopped at the port. The fat man ordered everyone to quickly climb aboard the ship. This is a lie. I will not go, you will not go. You will not go. K's head was smashed until it bled. Together with the other Cambodians, the man obediently boarded the ship. Before dawn, it cast off. Having reached the open sea, Fatty met with a team of fishermen and nodded to the leader and a couple of beggars. Salmon ordered them to unload the barrels onto his battered vessel when the job was done. The Thai gave the order to sail away. There were only 4 newcomers on the ship. Simon called them useless animals and ordered them to get to work. The workers took shovels and began to throw small fish into the hold. They did this until the evening, after which they were rewarded with a bowl of rice. This calmed his comrade Chuck for a while, because they had promised to take them to the factory. There were no sleeping places as such, so the newcomers lay down like sprats in some closet. The boss woke them up in the middle of the night and ordered them to get back to work. Workers have to do the same thing every day. One of the Cambodians felt sick, both physically and mentally. The boss approached the man and hit him with a stun gun, but he only quietly surprised. Then Salmon pulled off his jacket and simply threw the poor guy overboard. He didn't need a balance here. One day the engine on the ship stalled. Who can swim? Swim in water. I can't. Everyone froze, and only Chakra agreed to go into the water. Salmon ordered the net to be removed from the propeller and roughly threw the boy into the water. Chuck held his breath and cut part of the net from the propeller. Salmon first took the boy's knife and only then allowed him to climb onto the deck. The small fish they catch are used to make dog food. Kay is already thinking of running away. We have to work off our debt, and that's it. If we don't work it off, we'll die sooner. At the end of the working day, Chakra found a crab and threw it back into the sea. At least let him be free, so the day passed. One day the ship moored to the shore. Kier wondered where they were, but got no answer. The bandits were planning to have some fun. They forbade their slaves to go ashore. The remaining guard dozed off. Kale wanted to take his gun away, but got hit on the head. Salmon got drunk and picked up a prostitute. In the evening, he returned to the ship, satisfied and ordered to sail away. At the last moment, one of the slaves jumped into the water. At first no one noticed, but suddenly Salmon ordered to turn off the engine. The man tried to swim away, holding onto a plastic canister. He was quickly caught and dragged onto the ship, only to be wrapped in a chain with a stone tied to it and thrown back into the water. The man sank to the bottom, accompanied by the laughter and jokes of his executioners. After this incident, Keir completely despaired. Do you think that if you are submissive, they will let you go? We will die. You are already a corpse, and I am a corpse. This is a sea of the dead. Work. Work until you die, Keir constantly repeats. Chakra somehow learned to speak Thai and asked when they would work off their debt. Sandman offered the boy to stay. He would teach him everything he knew. And as an incentive, he gave Chakra a page from an adult magazine. It will rub off all his palms. A new batch of slaves was delivered to the ship. Salmon asked the fat man not to bring him any Kumars. They are too weak, only Burmans. The newbies don't know what kind of mess they've gotten themselves into yet. At night, one of them wanted to take Chakra's sleeping place, but Keir chased him away. The next day, Salmon, having nothing better to do, hit the man on the head. Keir reached the boiling point, grabbed a shovel and hit the bandit on the head with it. He fell overboard, but unfortunately did not go to the bottom. Salmon became happy and called for help. Keir went to look for the others, but he was immediately shot. Chakra understands that his friend is finished. Bad luck. We'll figure it out. The bandits came up with a particularly cruel way to deal with the rebel. They tied a rope around his hands and feet and threw both ends onto another ship. Keir begged the boy to help him until Salmon threw him into the water. The boss ordered Chakra to climb into the wheelhouse and move the lever forward with his own hand. A few seconds later, Keir tore him in half. Now you're a man. That same night, Chakra was finally driven away from his sleeping place. There was no one to stand up for him now. Every time the kid found a bigger fish, he took it to the bandits. Salmon was pleased with his student. In his opinion, only the young survive in the sea. I had it even worse than you. The newbie saw that the kid was given a piece of fish, so he took his portion of rice in the evening, like he had already eaten his own. Romilly understood what was what, so next time he stunned the fish himself and took it to the boss. He was going to become Salmon's new favorite and get privileges at night. Romilly had to take a. He grabbed the rope and hung his ass over the water. Chakra jumped up to him and knocked the guy out with a blow to the head. So, he drowned his competitor in the sea. After all, the main task here is to survive. In the morning, Salmon put a gun to his head, but Chuck did not even flinch. I knew it was you right away. You keep surprising me. Now you owe me one life. And from this day on, my ship is your home forever. Suddenly the bandit felt uneasy from Chakra's cold gaze. At that moment the boy began to plan his revenge, and no one dared to touch him anymore. Chakra dreamed of his native places. For some reason, his best friend roughly pushed him to the ground. His father did not recognize him at all. At home he now seemed like a stranger. At the end of the nightmare, Salmon also caught up with him. One of the bandits had to leave the pipe. He ordered the boy to drive the ship straight and do nothing. Chakra quickly figured out the controls and experimenting turned the ship around, for which he received a slap on the back of the head. The fisherman swam further than usual. There are plenty of fish here and no competitors. While working, Chakra saw a corpse floating past the sea of the dead. He remembered Slovakia before his death. His friend talked about his children. Today Chakra found a human bone among the fish and hid it under his pillow. When the other slaves fell asleep, the boy stopped the ship's engine. The bandit went down to check what had happened. The kid jumped out of the darkness and beat him to death with a bone. Having hidden the body, he spent the whole night in the wheelhouse, and when the second criminal came up here, he took great pleasure in smashing his skull. Now, he needs to deal with the main one. Salmon saw the kid at the helm and smiled at him. The man understood everything and took out his gun. You really are a real man. And yet, Salmon did not think that the kid would attack him so brazenly. Chuck killed him with one strong blow to the head. The boy ordered the slaves to throw Sam's body overboard. He threw his friend off the ship himself. Fortunately, Chakra already knows how to steer this ship, so he marked and turned the ship in the other direction. Another ship with slaves appeared ahead. Chakra ordered the men to lower the net so that the slave owners would not suspect anything. The bandits kept a decent amount of money in a tin box. For Chakra, it would be good compensation for the hardships he had endured. The ship moored to the shore. The boy was finally able to leave it, but for some reason, the other slaves were in no hurry to follow his example. Perhaps they decided to appropriate this trough. Chuck got home by bus and hitchhiked. Strange guys shared soda with him. Was he really back among people and not murderers and animals, as the bandits called them? Chuck stopped next to a rice field where his entire family was working. The boy could not hold back his tears, but suddenly he realized that he was not going to become a slave. Again, he did not need such a family. Chakra would go his own way. At the moment, about 200,000 men and boys are in slavery in Southeast Asia. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.